Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Uncle Sam, and you might think taxes. No, I'm not here to collect taxes. A lot of people today associate me with that horrible, horrible practice. However, I am here to tell you what made America the nation it is. Today, sometimes we hear all the bad news, but we don't hear the good news. The stories of all the great people who built this nation, of all the soldiers who fought for this nation, of all the people who sacrificed and died so that we could live a better life. I am here to tell you those amazing stories. Stories that will bring history to life. I can come to your school. I can come to your senior center. I can come to your church. I have stories for every occasion and every event that will make you proud to call the United States of America your home. Yes, we have problems. Yes, we've always had problems. But what makes America great is that we've always tried to learn from our mistakes, and we've always tried to be better for the next generation. And that is what we can learn from our past, how to be a better nation. But in the meantime, we can learn that people who lived in every period of this country's history lived to create a better future for their children and for their grandchildren. Men like Paul Revere, women like Sojourner Truth and Harriet Tubman, soldiers like Alvin York, and so many others. All the heroes who built this nation. I can tell you their stories. If you have a specific story, you can make a request. If not, I'll make a recommendation of some of the most amazing human beings to ever live in this nation. And you can have me come tell them to your students, to your church, to your senior center, wherever you like. I try to keep costs very low so you won't feel like you're being taxed. Uncle Sam is associated with taxes. But I'll tell you my real story as well. But I also have a very serious version of this story. I usually don't tell this one unless 5th grade is about the youngest that I will begin this story, because many of you are old enough to remember September the 11th, 2001. But most of those children weren't even born, weren't even thought of. Many of those children have no idea what America felt like on that day. But I will tell you some of the most amazing stories from that day. Some about survival, some about heroic deaths, some about simply tragic loss. But the most important thing on this one that I emphasize is September the 12th. On that day, there were no Democrats, there were no Republicans, there were only Americans. That's what makes this nation great. On those moments when we face the biggest crisis, I'll tell you stories about how we overcame that. Because for all of our tragedies today and all of the horrible events that we see too often in the news, the thing that we can never let happen is to let the hope of this nation die. Because we have been the hope of this entire planet since almost the day we were born. And if you want to hear stories about that, reach out to me today, and I will be happy to come tell those stories to your students, to your church, to your senior center. We are the greatest nation that ever existed, despite all of our problems. And we will continue to be that nation if we remember to learn from our past and to build a better future. God bless all of you, and God bless America.